You've spent the day listening, really listening, and now you're home, doors locked, phone face down. But there's a heaviness in your chest that wasn't there this morning. It's not sadness, not quite exhaustion. It's something else, something you can't explain to people who don't feel it. You absorb people, not their words, their weight. A friend tells you about their breakup, and suddenly you're the one replaying the argument in your head at 2 a.m. A coworker vents about burnout, and by lunch your motivation has evaporated. You watch the news for 10 minutes, and the world's suffering becomes a stone in your stomach. This isn't introversion. Introverts recharge in solitude because social interaction drains their energy. This is different. You're not tired from being around people. You're tired from carrying them. And here's the cruel part. You feel guilty for feeling drained because caring is supposed to be good. Empathy is supposed to be a strength. So why does it feel like punishment? Let me tell you what's actually happening. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're experiencing what psychologists call empathy fatigue, or more specifically, compassion overload. And it's not a character flaw. It's a neurological reality. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's just doing it too well. Here's the science. Your brain contains something called mirror neurons. These are cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing it. They're the reason you wince when someone else gets hurt. The reason you smile when a baby laughs. They create a neural bridge between you and the people around you. But here's where it gets complicated. When someone shares their pain with you, your mirror neurons don't just recognize their distress. They simulate it. Your anterior cingulate cortex, the part of your brain that processes emotional pain, lights up as if you are experiencing the loss, the rejection, the fear. This is empathy at the neural level. And for some people, this system runs hot. Research by neuroscientist Tanya Singer shows that individuals with high trait empathy show greater activation in pain processing regions when witnessing others' suffering. Your brain doesn't just understand their pain, it feels it, literally. Now add this. Unlike physical fatigue, emotional fatigue doesn't have clear limits. When your muscles are tired, they stop working. But your empathy system, it keeps running. Even when you're depleted, even when you have nothing left. This is the compassion hangover, the emotional residue that lingers long after the conversation ends. So how do you protect yourself without shutting down? How do you care without carrying? Here are 5 principles rooted in psychology. First, name the boundary between empathy and absorption. Empathy is understanding someone's pain. Absorption is taking on their pain. The difference is subtle but critical. Psychologist Paul Bloom distinguishes between cognitive empathy, understanding what someone feels, and emotional contagion, catching their emotions like a virus. Practice this. When someone shares something heavy, pause. Ask yourself, am I understanding this or am I becoming this? The moment you notice your chest tightening with their anxiety, you've crossed the line. That's your cue to step back, not emotionally, neurologically. Second, use the glass wall technique. This is a visualization grounded in emotional regulation research. Imagine a transparent wall between you and the other person. You can still see them. You can still hear them. But their emotions stay on their side of the glass. This isn't coldness. It's what psychologists call self-other differentiation, the ability to separate your emotional state from someone else's. Without it, you drown in every conversation. Third, discharge the emotional residue. Your nervous system stores what it can't process. After an emotionally heavy interaction, your body holds the tension. Elevated cortisol, activated amygdala, dysregulated heart rate variability. You need to complete the stress cycle. Physical discharge works. Shake your hands vigorously for 30 seconds. Take 3 deep breaths where the exhale is longer than the inhale. Move your body, walk, stretch, dance. These aren't rituals, they're neurophysiological resets. They signal to your brain, the threat is over, you can let go. Fourth, limit your exposure. This one's uncomfortable, but compassion is a renewable resource, not an infinite one. Research on healthcare workers shows that those who practice strategic emotional boundaries experience less burnout without providing lower quality care. You can care deeply and protect your capacity to care. That means not being the go-to person for everyone's crisis, turning off the news when you've hit saturation, saying, "I care about you, but I don't have the emotional space for this right now." It's not selfish, it's sustainable. Fifth, recharge with neutral presence. After absorbing emotions all day, you don't need positivity, you need neutrality. Psychologist Barbara Fredrickson's research shows that emotional recovery happens best in low-stimulation environments. Find spaces where nothing is asked of you. No music with lyrics, no intense films, no heavy conversations, just presence. Trees, all water, silence. This is how your nervous system returns to baseline. Here's the mental model. Think of your empathy like a water filter. When it's working well, it cleanly separates what you need to absorb from what you need to let pass through. But when you don't clean the filter, when you never discharge, never set boundaries, never rest, it clogs. And then everything gets stuck inside you. The compassion hangover isn't about feeling too much. It's about not having a system to process what you feel. You can be deeply empathetic and emotionally free, but only if you learn to let the water flow through you, not pool inside you. You don't have to carry the world. You never did. Empathy is a gift, but it's meant to be a bridge, not a sponge. You can care without drowning. You can feel without breaking. And tomorrow, when someone needs you again, you'll be there. Not because you forced yourself, but because you protected the part of you that wants to care. That's the difference.